Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It is $5 Tuesday. We got a loaded slate all around the world. Dan is going to take over WTF LFG. Dan, come on in here. I did my job.
Wow.
Which is subbing for you nicely. Pasta did not have an assist. 3 of them.
Yeah, I checked the box score this morning while I was prepping up for the show, and I was just like, man, it's a beautiful thing. We said, do we count it towards the record? Do we not? So for all intents and purposes, it doesn't go towards the record, but we know that we cashed with Pasta yesterday in WTF and LFG. We got a Bundesliga play coming your way in that one. But what else do we have here on the show? As Andy mentioned, all around the world, Andy's going to get you 3 free plays, but leading up to that, we got Jesse Schule coming on. He's going to piss off a fan base today. Who will it be this time? He's telling you who to fade in college basketball. He's also got an NBA free play for you in Pistons versus Nuggets. And, of course, I don't care if the Super Bowl is 2 weeks away, Andy. We have to continue checking in with these cappers on what they think about the Seattle Seahawks taking on the New England Patriots. So Jesse will give his thoughts there. Ralph Michaels got a doubleheader for you here on college basketball action. These are on Peacock, and that is Nebraska and Michigan, Purdue and Indiana. And then Prez going to shut things down as he always does on Tuesday. He will likely derail the show when he comes on around 12:30 if you're watching this live, but he will be talking to NHL games for you and getting you free plays in. The Stars taking on the Blues in that one, and then the Capitals and Kraken. So, Andy, we're running the gamut. We're covering everything on the program here today, so let's get into it, man.
I will just say that this Purdue-Indiana game, this kind of falls in the category of, is this really necessary to play this game? It's a long drive from Purdue to Indiana. Like, this is
does
not
feel like that.
It's interstates. I get it, but I know what the state of our roads are, and I hope they left this morning to try and get there because it's going to take a while. So, all right, well, let's do WTF LFG. What's your play for today?
Let's get in.
What are we at? 15-9.
So currently we're sitting at 16-10. If you want to count Andy's win
16-10.
yesterday, another plus money win for you, and it was 17-10. But we'll keep it at 16-10. So we said we weren't too sure. I'm coming off a loss on this one. I gave out Drake May interception, as I alluded to yesterday. When you don't have to throw a pass in the second half, you're probably not going to throw an interception. But we're going back to the pitch, Andy. We're going back to the pitch with a soccer play, a football play for you. So the last 2 soccer plays we had for you here, plus money winners. So let's continue. Let's take a look at Germany, Bundesliga. This one for the live viewers as it goes at 2:30. St. Pauli versus RB Leipzig. I won't bore you with Bundesliga breakdowns. Let's just take the fact that RB Leipzig is a top team, top 5. They're playing a bottom feeder, and this club typically beats up on bottom feeders. The last time, their last game out, actually, they played the team that was in last place today and playing St. Pauli. They're playing the team that is second to last place. They beat that last place team 3-0. So this is not a team that lets up when they're playing bottom feeders. Sometimes that's what the angle that we like looking at. This feels like a RB Leipzig pretty comfortable win, which I'm surprised that they're only minus 130 on the money line. That concerns me that maybe odds makers think that Pauli can hang around here a little bit. So that's why I want to take the really bad team out of the equation and take a look at the top team here in Bundesliga and just look at the team total. I think you're looking at a 2-0, maybe 3-0 win here. If it's 2-1, if it's 2-2, if they end up pulling a draw out, we don't care because we're taking the team total of RB Leipzig over 1.5. Don't care who wins. Let's just find the back of the net twice for a team who has scored with regularity on the road. Let's go over 1.5, minus 110 is your WTF LFG, Andy.
Love the way you're attacking this one. I think most would go, just money line. But then money line kind of looks a little weird, and only 2 goals. It doesn't seem that difficult. Let's give this an LFG.
Let's go. Let us know, folks. You following or fading? The soccer plays are good here to us. And Andy, before we bring on Jesse Schule to talk some basketball, appreciate you, Greg, tuning in. Thank you, man. We'll hit that like button while you're hanging out here. But he's asking, do you guys do the new NASCAR season? Well, you're talking to a guy who Andy and I got to know each other because we did the NASCAR show. I would record it for Andy, Life in the Fast Lane. So it's kind of become something you don't bet as much with regularity, but it still is something that you're very well versed on.
Yeah, I've never had a losing auto racing season. Somebody asked, like, what's your best sport? I've never had a losing auto racing season since joining WagerTalk, so I guess that's probably you would say that's my best score. Yeah, I'll tell you what. At the very end, I'll talk NASCAR and Formula One because I know that doesn't drive a lot of ratings, but I'll talk NASCAR and Formula at the very end of the show. Yeah, great call on the TGL. Easy win yesterday. Yeah, absolutely. And blocked. I love that. When you're from Texas, no drive is a long drive. It is when there's a foot of snow on the roads. Blocked.
Good point.
It's not the distance from Purdue to Indiana. It's the elements.
Driving through Texas, I can confirm, because it's like town that's so freaking big and then nothing but windmills, and then town that's so freaking big, nothing but windmills. That's Texas for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's bring in Jesse and let's kick things off here with some breakdowns. Jesse, welcome. Happy Tuesday. How are you?
Doing well, running hot, and it's a bit bittersweet though. Just one more football game left, and we still got to wait a couple weeks as well.
Speaking on behalf of myself and Dan, could you just refrain from using the phrase "hot"? Dan and I are freezing our plums off now.
We're hitting beds, so I guess we're
running
hot
well.
Yeah, it is, dude. -1 was like I woke up and that was our top temperature. But -1. I'm basically living in Antarctica. So the move, Jesse, as you know, going from LA to Philly, I brought the absolute coldest winter in quite some time here to Philadelphia. So lucky them.
Thailand's still quite comfortable, I got to tell you.
You always flex the Thailand on us, and I always am jealous.
All right, Jesse, let's get into it. NBA, Pistons, Nuggets. We have a couple of questionable guys for Denver, but it looks like they're going to play. Valanciunas, Peyton Watson, Jamal Murray seems like he's always a full-time questionable or probable guy. So I would expect full lineups on this one. So how we break this game down?
Well, Andy, I came on last week and we were talking about the totals. I said that I've noticed there's a lot of unders hitting lately. Scoring is down league-wide. I cited an old New York Times article and a bunch of stats showing how most teams were playing at a slightly slower pace. Well, 5 of 7 games went under their number last night again. Nothing has changed. Still lower scores in the NBA. We got a really low number for this game. I was able to get it at 217, but we're going to look at this total. Detroit, 33-11, first in the Eastern Conference, 5 games up on the Boston Celtics, and they're coming off a 139-116 shootout win at home against the Sacramento Kings. Of course, the Kings are not known for their defense. They might be somewhat allergic to defense, but that game, of course, went well over the total. They'd gone under the total in 9 straight previous. They ranked number 3 in the NBA in opponent scoring, giving up an average of 110 points per game, but it's been a lot less than that lately. And Denver, amazing how they keep getting it done without Nikola Jokic, without several of their starters in recent weeks. I think it's Aaron Gordon who's not going to play tonight. I did see that Murray and Valanciunas are listed as probable, so we do expect those guys to play. They've won 7 of their last 10 games. They've gone under in 7 of the last 10 games. They're coming off a 102-100 win at Milwaukee. Now they're back home. They've been playing far stronger defense of late, and they've been playing at a much slower pace. Their average pace of play for the season, 102 possessions per game. They're averaging just 98 possessions per game in their last 3 games. I like the way Denver looks. I like the defense they're playing. We got Detroit coming in as a pretty big favorite here, probably based a lot on the injuries, mostly on the injuries, really. And I'm going to look at Detroit's team total under the number. I think it's quite possible that neither of these teams reach this number. The Pistons team total sits at 111.5. And that's the bet. Detroit under 111.5 points.
Yeah, it was a great call. And I've seen more than one team finishing without getting to 100 points, which is a far cry from where we were at the beginning of the season. So it was a really good thing that you picked up on last week. So I love that you look at the team totals, but let's look at the Super Bowl, Jesse. Come on, we got to get your opinion here on the Super Bowl.
No time like the present.
Yeah. We're pretty much going to get everybody's here. So you get the Seahawks -4.5, the total 45.5/46. What's your read on the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm known for giving contrarian takes, and I got to tell you, I'm not making any friends. Last week, despite the fact that Denver was starting a backup quarterback and J.K. Dobbins was out, and they had a pair of running backs that rank outside the top 40 in the NFL, I said take the points with the Denver Broncos, and man, did I get attacked. Guys on Instagram, guys in the YouTube comments, they called me all sorts of names. And then when the Patriots won the game by 3 points, they came in to laugh at me. And I mentioned to them, you realize they didn't cover, right? To me, I'm not going to be contrarian here. This one is very straightforward in my opinion. The Patriots had to win 3 playoff games to get here. But did they really win any of those games, or did their opponent lose those games? The first wild card game, they faced the LA Chargers that had no offensive line. That offensive line was being held together by chewing gum and duct tape. Then they play the Houston Texans without their best receiver, and CJ Stroud throws 4 interceptions. And then last week in Denver, in a snowstorm, a missed field goal. Denver's got a backup quarterback, and their starting running back is out. They've had so much luck to get here. And now I think the luck has got to run out. They're facing a Seattle team that, let's face it, this has to be the best team in the NFL. Everybody said the Rams were the best team in the NFL, and I faded the Rams here last week. Seattle beat the Rams 3 times this year. And the one game they lost by just 2 points. I think Seattle is going to roll here. Anything under 7, it's got to be Seahawks for me.
Looks like we're faded. Even when we're just like, what do you think about the Super Bowl? Jesse comes up with an angle of who can I piss off? And I love that, Jesse. Never change, buddy. And we're going to be talking to Jesse about a college basketball team that he would fade in just a moment. But before that, Jesse, it is $5 Tuesday. This is one of my favorite days because it's a great chance for folks who maybe have never bought before to try out, see what a handicapper's like, grab a couple. $20 gets you 4 different handicappers. What do you got locked and loaded going for $5 Tuesday today?
I'm stepping up with a hockey play, a money line side in hockey, and I'm 9-1, 90% with money line plays so far in 2026. Number 1 since 2025, number 1 since 2024, 2023, all the way back to 2022 with money line sides on WagerTalk, up 175 units with those sides plays over the last 4 years. So that small sample size, you can't accuse me of giving you a small sample size on the streaks.
Love it. Jesse Schule, WT.buzz /JS is where you can grab it. All right, Jesse, let's do it. I was talking to you before the show. Ralph is going to have a full breakdown of the Nebraska versus Michigan college basketball game coming your way. But heading here into the show, you're saying one of these teams I think should be some fade material tonight and maybe even moving forward. Who are you pissing off today, Jesse?
Man, this is such a big game, such an interesting game. And the reason I overlooked the fact that Ralph was also covering it today is because I've been looking at the schedule for days with anticipation for this spot. You got an undefeated Nebraska team at Michigan. This looks like an obvious fade spot to bet against the undefeated Cornhuskers. They're 20-0, 12-8 against the spread, number 5 in the AP poll, just number 12 in KenPom, first in the Big Ten, but they're on the road at Michigan. And Michigan, 18-1, number 3 in the AP poll, and number 2 ranked in KenPom. Like I say, this looks like where that undefeated run ends for Nebraska. The problem is, you look at the line, 10.5. Are you kidding me? You want me to lay 10.5 to bet against this Nebraska team? There's no way on God's green earth that I'm betting against Nebraska and laying 10.5. If you're going to lay 10.5 against a team that's 20-0, you got to look at their schedule and say, well, they haven't played anybody. But that's just not true with this Nebraska team. They beat Wisconsin 90-60. They beat them by 30 points. They've got wins over Illinois and Michigan State, and they rank number 3 in scoring defense in the Big Ten, giving up just 65 points per game. They rank number 8 in scoring, averaging just 80.9 points per game. Now, Michigan leads the Big Ten in scoring. They're averaging almost 92 points per game. But what I noticed about Michigan is they were blowing everybody out early in non-conference play. Since conference play has started, I'm not saying that Michigan's not the best team in the Big Ten, certainly one of them. Again, if the line was smaller, I'd be looking at Michigan in this spot. But let's face it, the line is 10.5. You look at the recent schedule for Michigan. They beat Washington by 10. They beat Oregon by 10. They beat Penn State by 2. They beat Ohio State by 12. And their one loss came to that same Wisconsin team that Nebraska beat by 30. As much as this looks like a fade Nebraska spot, it's just too many points. I'm fading the Michigan Wolverines. And if you ask me the question, is this Nebraska team, do they mean to college basketball what the Indiana Hoosiers did to college football? I'm going to say I don't know about that, but I believe that they believe they do.
Jesse Schule getting so pumped up that he almost dropped the other F word that isn't fade. That's what I like to see out of you, Jesse. Always
There's kids watching this show.
Yeah, exactly. We are a family show after all. Yeah. Well, I hope there's not kids watching this show, knock on wood. But that's Jesse Schule. You can check him out, WT.buzz/JS. Good luck with that hockey play you got going tonight. You can grab it for $5 over at Jesse's page. Some good fade material. He comes strong. He comes strong, ready to go, Andy. That's for sure.
I love introducing people to new sports on that indoor golf, whatever it is.
Whatever it is. That's the
welcome.
Andy Lang experience is like, I have no clue where to even find this on my book, but I will find it and I will tail it and wake up and there's more money in my account. That's the Andy Lang experience.
I'll do a quick announcement. Me and Jan did a live watch along for it last week, and it was a lot of fun. We're going to do these moving forward. So
cool.
when they're it's a 2-hour thing on a weeknight when nothing's going on. We had a blast, so we'll give out plays on them. It's a great product to watch, and we've cashed the last couple of weeks on them. So we'll be doing some live watch-alongs. I'll let you know when they're on. But you guys Andy, can join us and watch. It's really good.
That's going to be awesome. Also got to give a shout out to our man Crackman yesterday. He hit his prop. And whenever you get a positive comment from our friend Mike R, you have to bring that to the fold.
Wow.
So that's how you know it's cold and hell might be freezing over. We even have a positive comment towards Crack from our man Mike R. Ooh. So appreciate it, man. Thanks for watching, brother.
Yeah. Let's see. Asking about the Joe Brady hire.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. So it's official. As I saw that great point out by Rob, I was trying to refresh my X page to see. I didn't see it from the Bills, but I'm guessing that's one of the beat reporters that wrote it, Schefter. Yeah, here we go. Adam Schefter, that they're moving towards hiring Joe Brady. What's your thoughts on this one, man? Because feels like you go first. What's your thoughts here?
So when you move to fire the coach and move to hire the offensive coordinator, but you also keep the GM, to me, that says there was a pretty overwhelming feeling in the organization that this coach was not the guy for him. And I think it's kind of pretty obvious it was dead man walking for him this year if he didn't win the Super Bowl. And it's just kind of been more of the same with them. All these seasons have looked the same. I know somebody mentioned like it's when Andy Reid got fired. What if this looks more like when the Warriors got rid of Mark Jackson and it's kind of an uproar? They bring in Steve Kerr and it was enough to get him over the hump.
And
so
this feels like Andy Reid getting fired. Andy Reid went to a Super Bowl and was basically in the NFC Championship game every single year. So, I get it. He's from that coaching tree, but I think, a bit of a false equivalency there. I'm with you. And for me, Brady, do I think he's going to be a good head coach? Yes. I think a change of scenery would have done everyone in this Bills situation better because Sean McDermott, I'm with you, was a dead man walking. It felt like he was a dead man walking for 2-3 seasons because I've been saying for years that it feels like that window has closed for that team because it's a message that's gone stale in the locker room. Does hiring from inside the building change that message all that much? I'm not so sure. And David points out here, Joe Brady, great offensive mind. The offense in Buffalo wasn't the problem. The offense year in and year out has absolutely overperformed. Statistically, they've been one of the absolute best football teams ever, and they have nothing to show for it, and that's largely because what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. McDermott was supposed to be a defensive guy. Does that change much? I'll be interested to see what they do defensive coordinator-wise, what they do with free agents, because the defense is what's holding this Bills team back, not what they're doing offensively, in my opinion. You can run on them, man. If you can run on a team, you're not going to win come playoff time. That's it.
Yeah, and I would also just say we could get to Ralph. I just think you have a real big problem if there's not an immediate picture in your head as to the style of team with your head coach. Dan Campbell, you can picture the style of head coach. Look at the teams. Look at the teams in the Super Bowl. Mike McDonald, nasty defense. Mike Vrabel, never going to make mistakes. Sean McVay. Like, you just kind of go down the line of the best coach. You could just picture how the team plays. And when you say Sean McDermott, what comes to mind?
What do you get? And when you get Joe Brady, does Joe Brady, the guy who would sit up in the booth and call a great game, does he strike me as leader of men? I'm not so sure, but time will tell. I think he's a hell of a head coach. I think he's a very innovative offensive mind. Offense wasn't the issue in Buffalo. That's the big takeaway for me.
Yeah. So and that's the thing. RJ says Brady doesn't have a personality either. That could be the problem. But what if the organization says, "Oh, we know we got a sleeping giant in Joe Brady. We know we got our guy. He just hasn't been able to flourish."
And he would have been a head coach elsewhere if not, or certainly, if they brought in a new head coach. I think that's probably what they looked at is we don't want to part from Brady, but if a new head coach comes in, does he stay as offensive coordinator? So they said we don't want to lose this guy. He's the reason, or a huge reason, that this offense has put up the numbers that they have. I'm just not sure if it's quite head coach in Buffalo kind of guy. I thought for years he should have been going down and working with Joe Burrow again down over in Cincinnati, and Zach Taylor, the only one who survives that division this year. So the head coaching carousel this season, Andy, has been one of the most intriguing things. I've been more interested in it than the postseason. That's largely because my Eagles choked, but we don't have to talk.
All right, we move on. It's $5 Tuesday, Dan. We got a lot of good things up. Every handicapper can put up a $5 Tuesday play. I'm going back to the bread and butter. 4% tennis best bet that is up. That is a 6-0. Yeah, 6-0 run on 4% tennis plays and a 6-0 run on Australian Open plays. It's been a fantastic Australian Open, you guys that have followed. We're 10-4 plus 12 units. And as Joe Neri says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we're going back to it. We haven't had a play in tennis in a couple days. We were waiting for this spot, and I love it. It's only $5. If you haven't seen our tennis plays, great way to see how we break it down. You see the analysis, you see the type of plays that we bet, and we're going back to what works best for us in tennis. This is a parlay, and even though we're kind of getting down to the last few matches, there's still a couple really, really good spots. So it's only $5. Get there. WT.buzz/AL Tennis has been a great source of units over the Australian Open. So we're up 26 units in January. I'm happy with that. Last few days have not been great, but anytime you can start off 2026 with 26 units, real happy, and couldn't be happier with how the Australian Open has gone, getting the tennis season off well. So partner up with me. It's only $5. We can make money for you guys tonight, and then we can look at a 7-day pass, maybe a 30-day pass, something like that. All right, let's bring in Ralph. Let's bring in Ralph and his,
what up, Ralph?
And his buddy.
Hey, at least the Buffalo Bills can find people to interview. Think about me from Ohio. The Ohio State Buckeyes get an NFL head coach to be the OC, and the Browns can't even get anyone to interview.
Andy, Ralph, it's been brutal for us because I think there has been more reports that coaches have withdrawn from Browns head coach consideration and Eagles offensive coordinator than some teams have even interviewed. Like people are like, I don't want these jobs. That's the real problem.
Oh, to be a Browns fan.
You basically have a NFL caliber head coaching staff at Ohio State. Ralph.
Oh, yeah. Arthur Smith. I'll happily join the Buckeyes, right? I mean, Chip Kelly goes to the Buckeyes to be an OC, right? So, hey, it's nice to make a few $1 million, have a safe job, and hang around with kids and just work in the winter. So,
facts.
All right, Ralph. We got a college basketball Peacock doubleheader: Nebraska, Michigan, Purdue, Indiana. Let's start with Nebraska, Michigan. We heard Jesse break this game down. Let's see if we get some agreement here or disagreement. Michigan minus 10.5, over under 156.5. How do you break this game down?
Well, let's take a look at Nebraska. This isn't a team that just all of a sudden became good. You're looking at Hoiberg came here in 2020, I think. They won 7 games, 10 games, 16 games. And after those first 4 years, what has Nebraska done? 23 wins in 2024. They started slow last year, but remember, they actually won the college basketball crown postseason tournament, gave them momentum this year, and they've reeled off 20 straight wins. By the way, they have the nation's longest win streak at 24 overall wins. I look at Nebraska, and they are balanced, both offense and defense. They are top 25 offense. They are top 15 defense. So they are a legitimate team. Their D1 experience, they are as experienced as anyone, number 27 in the country. I look at them as a whole, and you say, what sets them apart? And it really is, they don't make mistakes. They're number 7 on offensive turnovers. They force turnovers on D. They're number 79. They're a 3-point heavy shooting team, top 100, and their defense, top 45, both 2 points and 3 points. You look at Nebraska, and I do want to say this. While I'm not going to talk about the total very much today, I do want to point out their splits. Away from home, Nebraska 7-1 against the spread and 5-3 over under. At home, they do host Illinois on Sunday. They are 1-11 over under with 10 straight unders by 17.2 points per game. So that note, make sure you keep on your notes for Sunday afternoon. Michigan 18-1, popular team, number 1 or number 2 on every poll to start the season. And they've paid the price of being a good team. They've seen inflated numbers. People don't know Nebraska. People know Michigan. And in their last 15 games, since December 6th, Michigan State has been a double-digit favorite in every game, and the average line was 20.5 points per game. So basically, they've laid 3 touchdowns in every game for the last month and a half. But their last 5 games, guys, they've gone 0-5 against the spread. And not only 0-5, they failed to cover by 10.3 points per game. Michigan, one of the fastest paced teams in the country, their offense is number 4 on tempo. But what has that led to? They are sloppy. They are not disciplined at all. On offensive turnovers, they're number 139 in the country. Forcing defensive turnovers, they're number 170. And non-turnover steals, they are number 264 in the country. Nebraska's defense slows people down. I think that's going to cause Michigan to have quite a few turnovers today. Again, Michigan number 4 on offensive tempo. Nebraska's defensive tempo, number 342. So when you have a team that makes mistakes and likes to play fast and is now going to be forced to play slow with pressure defense, again, keep an eye on Michigan's turnovers tonight. Michigan's played only 3 top 25 defenses. They did beat Auburn and they did beat Gonzaga early, but both of those games were a Thanksgiving tournament with no rest. Their other game against Ohio State, they only scored 74 points. Nebraska, if a team does not force turnovers, and I told you Michigan was bad at that, Nebraska is 9-1 against the spread. They are a completely sound team. The only reason this was not a client release for me is that the Cornhuskers will be out without freshman Brandon Frager. He's only made a few starts this year, but he's an important bench scorer. He's their number 3 scorer on the team this year. He got hurt last game. He's going to miss this game. He may miss a few more. I still like Nebraska. I lean under. But again, the injury is enough to keep it from being a client play.
Ralph, you got a hell of a compliment from Justin. I met Ralph last March Madness at a bar in Vegas, bought us all drinks, and was the coolest dude ever. Oh, yeah, he damn well almost put this bar out of business with his Keno run.
Don't worry, I gave it back. I'll tell you what, when you're sitting, when I lived in Vegas, there were so many friends that I had, the girls are working the bars. It's so easy to sit at the bar and start doing cocktails and just start throwing money on stupid Keno, which the odds are horrible. But hey, even when you know the odds, there's time you have to have enjoyment and play those things.
Facts.
Absolutely, Ralph. Let's talk this Purdue Indiana team. Purdue playing Indiana, the football school now, and
Yes.
Purdue is the favorite, minus 5.5 over under 151.5. I guess they're still playing this one. Travel's going to be a little bit murky here. It's going to take a while to get back and forth, but they're still going to play it. How do you break this game down?
I can't believe that they're not going to knock on your condo, Andy, once you've shoveled the snow and say, excuse me, you need to move out of Indiana if you think the Purdue-Indiana basketball game should not be played. So shame on you for being a Hoosier and even saying something so ludicrous.
And he's a football guy now.
I'm sorry. I have the safety and well-being in the back of my head for the players and the fans. Shouldn't be driving from West Lafayette to Bloomington. There's like big hills and that are covered in snow and whatever. How do you break this game down, Ralph? Who's winning and covering?
Let's look at the basics first. Purdue 17-3. They've played the number 9 schedule. So again, one of the toughest schedules in the country, but they did lose back-to-back games. They went out to UCLA and lost. And then in a great game last week, they lost to Illinois, ended up losing by 6 points at home. So you do have Purdue off a home loss, a situation that they usually play very well in. You look on the other side, Indiana comes in with a 13-7 record against the number 66 schedule. So they played a very weak non-conference schedule, number 300, while Purdue played the number 38 toughest non-conference schedule. That certainly gets Purdue prepared more. And I think we've seen Indiana struggle because they were not tested early against that weak schedule. What happens? They get into Big Ten action, and they lost 4 straight games to Nebraska, Michigan State, Iowa, and Michigan. Again, very good teams. But 2 of those losses were at home. They did snap that 4-game win streak, beating Rutgers on the road on Friday. Listen to these Purdue runs. They started the season, Purdue started the season 1-5 against the spread. They then go 8-1 ATS. Purdue in their last 6 games, they're 0-6 against the spread since January 7th. Now, why is that? I'm actually surprised. There is no team that returned a better starting lineup than Purdue. Listen to this, guys. Their 4 returning starters have started 56, 56, 54, and 43 games the last 2 years. And the only new starter they have has 51 starts the last 2 years at Washington State and South Dakota. So for them to go through stretches like that where they're not covering really does surprise me. I thought Purdue was the best team in the country preseason. We've seen that Arizona's freshmen likely have them as the best team. Some people say Michigan, but watching Arizona last night in a great game against BYU, thank you for all that, purchased a 5% winner. It got very close, but again, I do have the Wildcats as the best team. I look at the splits, and you look at Purdue the last 5 games, you may be a little bit concerned because they have allowed over 50% 3 times, including allowing 57.1% to Penn State. But you have to remember this Big Ten team season this year, the Big Ten is loaded with incredible offenses. In Ken Palm, the Big Ten offenses 1, 2, 7, 22, 27, and 28. That is 6 of the top 28 teams in the country. Best offenses come from the Big Ten. The Hoosiers, I said 13-7, the number 64 schedule. They're 9-10 against the spread, 9-11 over under. No solid ATS streaks positive, no solid ATS streaks negative. Now, while some of the defenses have given up 50-plus yards percentages shooting, the last few games, I look at this matchup, and it clearly has me on the under. Again, Purdue's defense, number 30 in the country. Indiana, number 57. But look at how the teams play. Tempo-wise, Indiana 209, Purdue 285. Tempo has me looking under. When I look at turnovers on offense and defense, Purdue doesn't turn the ball over on offense and doesn't force turnovers on defense. They're 15 on offense, 219 on defense. Same thing for the Hoosiers. They do not turn the ball over on offense. They do not force turnovers on defense. Number 67 on offense, number 224 on defense. And both teams, they pass the ball. They get a lot of assists. They do not go one-on-one. Most of their shots are assisted. In fact, assists per field goal made, Purdue number 8 in the country, Indiana number 13. So turnovers, tempo, and passing the ball with a lot of assists, all of that adds up to Purdue and Indiana. This is meeting number 223 between these two schools, goes under the total.
Nice call, Ralph. I have to agree with you completely on this one. So not a lot of points going to be scored in this one with this slow pace. So it's $5 Tuesday, Ralph. What do you have up for everyone?
Well, college basketball, number 1 the last 30 days, number 1 since December 15th, and a 16-4 college basketball run. That, folks, 80%. I have my SEC game of the week up. It is $5. Take advantage.
Ralph Michaels, thank you so much for joining us.
You know what, Andy? Can I say one more thing? I just want to remind people, tomorrow after 12 noon, make sure you head to my homepage. I'll have the my Super Bowl prop report. It has the grades from all the props for the last 15 years. It breaks down what everything has occurred, and it flies off the shelf. It's wild. I know the Westgate releases props tomorrow, so I'll have that out tomorrow. Well, so I'll shoot a note for you guys in here, and maybe
Perfect.
Every day you guys break down a prop and tell exactly what has happened over the last 15 years with that prop in those situations.
Love it. Thank you, Ralph.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's prop season, baby. Super Bowl prop season.
Yeah, no.
No,
And even you know that even Ski is tuning in and dropping some Ralph love here. You know what I mean? And if you want a little bit more NBA, don't worry. Andy has some coming up in all around the world. Prez, get the hell out of here. Coming up in all around the world. We need to take the power away from this man. We need to take the power away from him. But coming up at 1:30 today here on WagerTalk TV, you can see Ski alongside Rob Vino on his daily show, Profit Pick. So appreciate Ski tuning in here, dropping in the chat. And we don't have a choice. Do we just bring on Prez? I mean, it's
No, not the winners. We got winners.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got winners, Prez, and then you. Okay, just breathe, because Andy, you've been making people freaking money. Because Matt J 2020, you're our winner. You commented below in our head-to-head Denver taking on the New England Patriots. Andy covered that game. So he won Matt J a free 3-day flex pass. And then Andy was forced to break down his own Pacers and take them. Not only do they cover, they win outright. And ain't nobody was commenting Andy except for 2 people. One of them was Colsey here. So 12 Colsey, you will also, by the end of the show here, have a free 3-day flex pass on your account. Andy, you've been cashing for these people in our little head-to-heads.
I mean, listen, there's no way I would have chosen to take the Pacers 15.5 and then to win outright is truly ludicrous. And it's one of the dumber wins of the season. Like, why would you win against the Thunder? That's the stupidest
because
win.
It's what they do.
No, it's the dumbest win. It's the dumbest win. You just let the Thunder win. You lose. Improve your draft. Every time they win, I get more and more frustrated. So, all right. You know who I don't get frustrated when he wins?
Before he pops a blood vessel. Bring his ass in here. For a
What's up,
second, Prez, I
Lawrence?
saw like your purple shirt underneath, and it just like blended. I thought you were going just sweatshirt, chest puppies, but you do have a shirt underneath it. I love that thing, man. You're looking good. Thought it was
Boy!
just chest puppies.
What's going on? Dan, I'm enjoying your hair, dude. You're looking very handsome today. Andy, nice to see you.
I listened to you, Prez. You said it because like because it was like we were recording the Prez address. What was it, 3-4 weeks ago or whatever? No, even longer than that. And you were like, Dan, if you're gonna have long hair, get rid of the stupid bob and just grow it out. So I'm starting to get a little bit more length to it just off of your.
Oh, nice.
Alone, my friend. Yeah.
I could
Nice.
never understand like that Keith Urban, like that, like grow it or don't grow it.
Well, they said that I looked like Lord Farquaad, and that was the point that I was like, you know what? I think I probably got to grow this thing out again. I can't be Farquaad adjacent, you know?
I don't even know who that is, bro.
I'll pull up a picture by the end of your segment, Prez.
I've never been more excited. Can we just get there now?
All right,
I need
Lawrence.
some time.
Yes. All right, Lawrence. You kind of got a couple of meh games here tonight, so it's your job to make these exciting and make these breakdowns excited for us to bet on them if you can find an angle here. So, we're gonna
Sure,
start with
dude.
start with the Stars and the Blues. What do you make of these two teams right now? I can't really find any interesting angles from them. What do you make of these two teams in this matchup tonight?
Well, I mean, okay, so full disclosure, Dallas to me is a team that that everyone should be looking to bet on moving forward. I like to speak more conceptually because it's more important to find teams to bet on over the next 2 weeks than it is to find games tonight. So the Dallas Stars are a team I'm looking to bet on moving forward. They play St. Louis tonight. Then they're in Vegas, Utah, and Winnipeg. They got quite the schedule coming up. This is an important game for them. And I think they're the right side here at minus 150-ish. They just beat St. Louis 3-2 in their last game. They were outshot by St. Louis. St. Louis put up 22 shots, Dallas 19. I mean, that is just anemic offense, and that's where we're going to go. I like Dallas, but I prefer the under in this game, and I like the under a lot here. You take a look, and there's just a lot of ones in play. St. Louis and Dallas played last game. It went under the total of 5.5, 3-2 score. Dallas played Columbus, 1-0 score. They played Boston. They put up 6, but they held Boston to 2. They played Tampa Bay. They only put up 1. They played Utah. They only put up 1. They played Anaheim. They only put up 1. They played the LA Kings. They held them to 1. There's a lot of ones involved in a Dallas Stars game. So what is going to happen tonight? Which team will only get 1 goal? Who cares? Because the other team ain't getting 5. So that's where the under lies for me. You look at St. Louis. Sure, they went over against the LA Kings 5-4. They went under the game before that 3-2 against Dallas, under the game before that 3-1 against Winnipeg, under the game before that 5-0 against Edmonton, under the game before that 3-2 against Tampa Bay, 3-0 against Carolina. Let's not overthink this, guys. St. Louis ain't going to be playing to the over much moving forward, and Dallas is a team that is going to start locking their opponents down on a regular basis. Take the under.
We move on to the Capitals and the Kraken. That's a very, very good way to look at that game there, Prez, telling us, hey, this is the team you're betting on and you're taking the unders here. We looked at Washington minus 130, Kraken plus 110, over under is 6 in this one. Under again or different take?
Yeah, and not only am I looking to go under the total, Andy, but this is a 2% play for my clients. So no reason to grab my all access package. I only have one other play. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So this is a play that I really, really like. And I would release under 6 in the Dallas-St. Louis game, but alas, it's 5.5. And I do concern myself. You know, you have a situation where it's 2-0 with 5 minutes left in the game, and then it goes to 3-0 with 3 minutes left, and then a goalie is pulled, and next thing you know, it's 4-2. So I try not to bet under 5.5s. I like under 5.5s, but I don't normally bet them. But this is a 6, and this is an under 2. And let's break this game down as well. Look, New Jersey just played Seattle 4-2. Before that, Anaheim, Seattle 4-2. Those are both pushes. 4-1 against the New York Islanders. But the bottom line here is that both of these teams want to play under games. Washington just played a 5-6 game against Edmonton. Before that, 3-1. Both these teams are structured to be low-scoring games. Capitals do not have a whole lot of depth on offense. This is a team that's going to be struggle to score really most of the year. And you look down what they're doing. They put up 5 last game. Before that, in the 7 games prior, they couldn't get over 3. I think both of these teams want to play defense. I think it's the right spot for defense tonight. I think this is going to be a super low-scoring game.
2 unders, have to agree with you. Are you seeing trends across NHL in unders, or is this just
I don't look at
picking
that.
some teams? Okay.
I don't. I never pay attention to team-wide stats. But I respect people who do. I do want to say one thing, though, if I can, hijack the show.
Cash it, Andy. I told you. I said Prez
will
hijack this show, and verbatim he goes, "Let me hijack this show." So Prez,
so Andy, send me
half.
Andy, send me the half the money that you
done.
Bet on that. No. In all seriousness, we had a comment on the best betting show ever yesterday about a guy who bought a few handicappers plays, and 3 of them were on Louisville, and Louisville lost. And the point that they made was, when 3 handicappers are on the same play, I give it extra weight. Andy, this is a topic that I wanted to discuss, because what I want to say to everybody listening is 90% of the time, 20 handicappers are on the same play. They're all using the same handicap. So they've all noticed a similar angle, trend, situation that is leading them to make that decision. That play is not 20 times stronger because 20 people are using the exact same angle. It is still just as strong as if only one person released it. Do not get caught up when 60 guys all like the same play. It does not make it stronger. Sorry. Personal announcement.
Fair. I don't think I have a follow-up, because I would be truly stunned if I had the same play as anybody else on Wager Talk. I surely.
What do you mean? Both you and I bet Bob Barenko in darts last night, 4%er.
I did not, but I guarantee you do not have the same play as my $5 tennis play today. I will guarantee 100%. We don't do locks. That is a lock. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I did some. I'll give you a perfect example. I did some experimenting with I just put in to AI, say, hey, look up the starting lineups for NBA teams and run 10,000 simulations and give me your best player props. I ran it for 2 months every night, and it was exactly like 50%. They hit like 50%. And then I realized, all they're doing is looking up the same websites that are giving the exact same information, the exact same trends. They're pulling the same stats that every other person is. So yeah, you do have to be careful when everyone is pulling the same information. I get it.
But I do like both unders in those 2 games tonight. Somebody wanted something on the Leafs. I love the over in the Leaf game tonight, guys.
There you go.
There you go. $5 Tuesday. What do you have up?
Oh, Andy, thank you for asking.
You hit your big one last week, right? Let's go. Make it 2 in a row. Give it to us.
We're 3 in a so 3 in a row.
Let's go 3 in a row.
All 4% NHL money line bets. And guys, I've been telling you guys, these are the best bets that I ever bet ever in my life. I had a 4% play last night in college basketball, my first one of the season. It was Arizona against BYU. Crazy ending, but it cashed. I'm now on a 9-0 run in 4% plays. I'm 63% since January 1st of 2025. But none of that is important. What is important is I have a 4% NHL money line bet, 43 and 18 in these bets since 2022. So 9-0 run, 20 and 6 run. There's your short-term run. There's your medium-term run and your long-term run, 43 and 18. We won it last week. We won it the week before. We're rolling it back. Bet my play tonight, guys. It is only $5. I am telling you, it is a doozy. It is going to win outright. The other thing is, Andy, AWB4 at Arizona -1.5, and I want to hijack the show again. Guys, we've been down this path a million times. If a basketball game is under 2, you take it on the money line.
Money line, yes.
Money line. You take it to -135. So -135 instead of -2. -130 instead of -130, -1.5. -120 instead of -0.5. The money line. It will give you a 2% greater win rate over your life of betting. So AWB, yeah, man, that play was scary, but take it on the money line.
And Prez, a lot of the time when you were hosting the show and we did that, what did bettors learn, or asked, Teddy and Prez, one of the things that would come up all the time was the thought of, buying points, buying half points, when it's good to do, when it's not. So it always was interesting to me that it was such a hard concept to grab about 2 and under bet, because the same people are more than happy buying a half point, and it's essentially what you're doing is you're just cutting down your potential exposure there, laying that 1.5. You win by 1, you're screwed. If you just bet the money line and paid the extra 5 cents, it made a hell of a lot of sense to do. So love when you come on here with that betting theory stuff, because that's the teach a man to fish kind of stuff that WagerTalk is known for and that people love.
I love it too. And AW follows it up with I pick my spots. That would be even worse of a strategy to do, is to pick your spots. Just to let you know,
Prez,
how do you pick them? Like, how did he know that last night was the spot to pick him and the time before that wasn't? This is a mathematical equation. So you don't try pick your spots. Bet correctly. Johnny Detroit 49.90. Lots of love, my brother.
Real quick, Prez, before you leave, here's what Lord Farquaad looks like. That's my.
Oh wait, that's from Shrek.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Dan. If you ever have bangs like that, I will never come on this show. Ever?
Can you imagine? Just straight across. Straight across. I'm going to lop them off, Prez.
When Brian Power meets, it'd be like when Brian Power meets Dan Alexander.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Dan.
my
There we go, Prez.
You look so young there, Dan. Look up.
Only when Prez is on,
Look at this brilliant comment. I pick my spots as well, especially when it comes to aiding the Prez. Laugh my ass off.
This is Mike.
Yeah, Mike. Is it a fade today or is it not a fade today? Let me know.
Wait. He said haven't needed that with his picks in forever. Because I just dropped the F-bomb because you've been freaking rolling, Prez. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you, my brother. I love doing the show with you guys. I won't be on next Tuesday. I'm skiing in Park City. Anybody in Utah, DM me on Twitter. I'd be delighted to ski circles around you. So the whole of America and Canada is under a freezing alert, snow everywhere except in Utah.
I know.
Be gone,
Amazing.
Prez. Enjoy.
Amazing.
Enjoy your skiing. Love you, buddy. Prez. Yes, that's the only time you get hair handicapping is when Prez is on. It's one thing that I love about the man.
I was gonna tell everybody like Prez and I came with the heat last week. We both cashed our 4% best bets. Like get both
$10.
Get both Prez, Mike, because they're completely different sports. We're both rocking 4% plays like we did last week. So All right.
Yeah, and even Steve, he used the free play that you gave out on the show, cashed in, and he said, I'm going to buy the 4% today. So love that, Steve. Appreciate it. And thanks for being a Wager Talk Insider. If you want to be a Wager Talk Insider, WT.buzz/insiders. WT.buzz/insiders is how you can get early access to all of our videos here and extra perks like access to some Steam Room with Yanni a couple times a month here. So pace, and it's super low price for you. And it's a big way to say thank you to the channel outside of just liking and subscribing, folks. We're under 10,000 away, Andy, from 250,000 people subscribed here. So we're going to get there.
All right, we're going all around the world. I recorded the prop line earlier, gave out an 18-1 same game parlay. That's on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. Dan and I and Jan are going to be recording the golf show right after this, but let's do some free plays. We're going to the Panthers and the Mammoth. Sam Bennett over 2.5 shots on goal. He's on one of his heaters. When this guy gets going on shots on goal, he's a monster. He can get on a heater in points and shots on goal, but right now it's shots on goal. 5 overs in a row, 7 shot attempts per game, and over in 5 straight against this team. Blazers and Wizards, this is going to be a client play. 4%er, Drew Holiday over 11.5 points. 14 plus points in 3 straight games. His minutes are around 23. Now that he's healthy, Avdia should play tonight. It actually seems to help Drew Holiday. He's gone over this number in 6 out of the last 7 times, making 5 field goal attempts per game. 2 of those are three-pointers, adding a couple free throws. And he's playing Washington, who gives up 50 points per game to guards. They're awful on defense. So Drew Holiday over 11.5 points. And then Farmers Insurance Open, Ryan Gerard, top 40, including ties. I don't know, Dan. I just kind of want the guy that's finished in second place the last 3 tournaments he's played in. I kind of want that guy. I want the guy that finished 15th at this tournament last year. I'll just take that guy at a very fair price, including ties. I don't need to go over any of his metrics. Just this guy's finishing runner-up, and nobody's paying attention to him. So Ryan Gerard, top 40. It's not even that great of a field. It's a good field, but it's not a great field. So he's not going up against in fact, the only guy I lost to last week was the number 1 player in the world. So take that for what it's worth. So there's your free plays there. So all
right, Andy, I know we got the golf show coming up that we're recording with Jan.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna cut you off. All right, Douglas, few seconds. Want a basketball trivia question? While we're closing out, put it in the live chat. Let's go. You got a few seconds before we get out of there. I love a good basketball trivia question. Give it to me. Yes, Dan, what were you saying?
I was going to ask you. I know you teased it that you were going to talk a little bit of F1 and NASCAR, so I just wanted to make sure
this is perfect.
We shut things down. Yeah.
Okay, so NASCAR and Formula One both are getting completely different cars, okay? So we're starting from like basically zero. Pay no attention to what happened last year. On top of that, NASCAR changed their format for how they're doing the playoffs. So it's going to be very, very different. It looks like McLaren is going to take a step back. It looks like Mercedes is going to be really good. You're always going to take Max Verstappen to be very good. I think we're going to have a future on Verstappen to win the championship. As far as NASCAR, typically Hendrick starts off the year really strong. Then they cruise in the first part of the year. You're going to know real early which teams have their cars dialed in. So we're going to take it patient, but once we see a few races, we're going to pounce because there's going to be some teams that struggle and some teams that thrive. You're going to want to ride those teams that thrive for 4 to 6 weeks. Those teams that struggle, they're going to start getting their act together, and then they're going to start climbing up. So it's going to be a cautious approach. There's going to be a lot of chaos at the beginning, but I'll be on Verstappen, and we crushed the futures market on season wins in NASCAR. That will be an important part of the bankroll is our NASCAR futures. When we see them come out, we'll start to talk to you guys. Official testing for Formula One, not till the second weekend in February, I believe. So we'll know more then. So, all right, what's the question? Who holds the record for most consecutive free throws made in the NBA? Not a current player. Is it Jeff Hornacek? Is it Jeff? I'm trying to.
Let's see.
That'll be my guess. Is Jeff Hornacek? Is it not a current player? That's the very first. He says no. That was the very first name that came to mind. John.
Well, who is it?
It's
Like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna cheat and look it up.
I'm
so
not.
Douglas,
I'm
don't
not gonna
leave us with
cheat.
bated breath here. Played for
Played for Minnesota. I'll tell you what. Put it in the comments section. We got to get out of here. Put it in the comments section.
I think I found it. Is it Mike Williams? Mike Williams is the name that is popping up. So it says 97. So comment below and let us know.
Yeah.
Mike Williams.
Let me know.
Big time name. Mike Williams.
I remember when Steph Curry was on a hellacious streak to make his to set records for free throws, and then he gagged one. So yeah, it's Michael Williams. All right, Douglas, good trivia question. That's a really good trivia question.
Well done, Douglas. Thanks for watching, brother.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Again, the Prop Line Golf Show to get you ready. We'll have more trivia tomorrow with Douglas. Douglas, join us tomorrow. Give us a trivia question. That was fun.
Love it.
That was fun. Douglas may have his own segment.
RB Leipzig team total over, Andy. Don't forget that. Going at 2:30. RB Leipzig team total over 1.5.
All right, so in an hour and a half from now, so if you want to get that one in, get it in now. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget to hit the like button, please. Really helps the algorithm out. And we'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.